Hi traders, Joseph here from Eightcap. Welcome to today's report for Wednesday, the 14th of October. We'll just start quickly with some of the momentum last night. We saw pretty decent selling from against risk currencies to the USD and the Japanese yen, and one of the primary movers behind the pound sell-off and continue to move lower at the moment was comments from Governor Bailey from the Bank of England. Now they are still talking about negative rates, so that's starting, while not a 100% guarantee just yet, it's looking more and more sort of promising that could happen, and the pound acted pretty much according to script. So we saw some very strong moves lower from the pound to the yen and to the USD. So US CPI last night came in as expected, and the euro was another pretty key move last night. We saw some strong selling against the USD and the yen, and we also saw some strong selling as well against some of the crosses, like we're looking at the euro kiwi here, another strong move. So at the moment so far today though, as we've just seen the European session come online, markets haven't been too much volatility at this stage in the Asian session, and we'll just have to wait and see if we do see some volatility pick up into today's London session. So the USD, while there was a fair bit of selling from risk currencies, the US dollar CAD didn't see too much movement. We're seeing just a small counter rally at the moment after this trend break and that leg lower, and we will just have to give a little bit more time to see if we do see further extensions. Now, oil did rise yesterday, but we are seeing a little bit of weakness here, and we are keeping an eye on oil because it does sit in this range, but we have seen a short-term trend break. We've seen a new lower high set up here, and if we see a break of this low today or tonight, that could be signifying that there could be a new leg lower pushing underway. So gold as well, we're just keeping an eye on gold. We've seen it fight back from new weekly lows. There is a fair bit of support at the moment from 1885, around that general area. So we'd like to see if buyers are going to try and save this trend break. We do still have a fair bit of lower momentum though, with plenty of lower highs after this main trend that we saw got broken. So, and we were watching this pattern here, and it did break out lower, but we haven't seen any real follow through just yet. So there was a triangle pattern here that was in play for a fair period of time until we saw that break lower. So we've had one rally up, which is a new lower high, and we're just waiting to see if we do see a new leg lower start push lower. But it does come down to the USD and how much strength that the USD does have, and with the election coming up, it could create, until the election does become finalized in the US, it could more be a little bit of just positioning without any real key moves. So we would like to just see what happens with this short-term trend break just here at the moment. Now, we're just going to finally we're just going to finish on stocks, because there is a couple of little things going on in some of the indexes. So the German 30 at the moment, we're seeing a stall from this rally here at a pretty solid looking resistance and supply area. We saw our first leg lower, and we're seeing a failing rally today at the moment. So we are seeing a decent fade on today's Asian session buying on the German 30, and we're just waiting to see if we see a break first of yesterday's close and then a break of yesterday's low. And if that does happen, we're starting to look for a bit more pressure to come on this trend. So we do already have a break here of the fast trend, a very short-term fast trend. So we'll be looking to see further action if sellers are going to push a bit lower, and if they do, we'd be looking for possible demand to come in from around the previous high, which is at 12.88.2, and down there there was a fair bit of support that did come in at 12.693, and then again at 12.758. And it's a similar story on the US 30 at the moment. We've seen a small rally today that's currently being faded. We don't really have a fast trend break yet, and there is still short to medium term trend in play, but it does, signs are saying that there's a little bit of a slowdown going on, and both markets are a fair way off the averages. So sometimes you do see markets pull back to the average, but that alone is not a real signal, and it's not either something that you can bank on to trade off. It's more just a small sign that potentially momentum has started to wane, or it has gone a little bit too much, but never take that as black and white, because as we can see here, we can see how far and how aggressive the market did pull away from the average before it decided to return. So it's definitely not a key indicator whatsoever. And again here you can see it pulled away at this point, and then we had another extension which was much higher before it did come back. So that's definitely something to think about, but not at all something to make a trading decision off in my opinion. So now, just furthering along with that example, we're seeing it as well on the ASX 200. Now, combining with that, we're seeing price continue to stall at resistance that's seen up at around the 6,200 point. And we've seen 2 days now really struggle to close above 6,200. So we saw, it just missed it today, and we saw a move above it yesterday that failed and was pulled back. So these, coupled together with some of the slowing momentum signs in the US and on the German 30, do start to paint a little bit of a picture that possibility momentum is stalling, but we'll need to get a little bit more evidence of that with a move down, then look for another failed rally to signify possibility of a proper break of these trends that we're seeing. So coming up tonight, news-wise, we have US core PPI and US PPI, and that's due at 11:30 p.m. Australian Eastern Daylight Time, as the eastern side, some of the eastern states have now moved into daylight savings. So that's it for today's report. Just finally, tomorrow morning at 8:30 a.m. we have the RBA Governor Lowe speaking in the morning. So again, that's it for today's report. Thank you very much for watching and listening, and we wish you good trading for the rest of the session. And until tomorrow, bye for now, and thank you again.